Welcome back in, guys. Trey Lowell here with Lowell Productions, and in today's video we're honing in on a 1080p action camera from the guys over at OnReal. Now this thing is incredibly small and compact, coming in at $70, coming up next. So if you guys follow the channel, you know one thing that I absolutely love to talk about is action cameras. Typically, we're talking about the OnReal native 4K, or we're talking about GoPros or the DJI Osmo. Now in today's video, we're specifically going to be talking about a extremely tiny camera from the guys over at OnReal. This is actually a 1080p, 30 frames per second. They call it their spy cam. I just call it a miniature camera that honestly weighs less than 1 ounce. To be exact, it weighs 0.9 of an ounce. And then on top of that, size-wise, when I bring out a AA battery, you guys can see that this thing is just stupid tiny. So rather than talking more about the item, I'd rather put it into use outside to give you guys an example of real-world situations where you might use this OnReal hidden spy cam. So let's jump right outside. And already dropped it. Okay, so we officially have the OnReal spy cam hooked up, suction cupped right here. We've also been able to put it here, but it's a little bit of a high angle. And there's also like a simultaneous shot in real time. A little bit of a lag in the Wi-Fi, but you guys can see. So we'll take it into the city and get a little bit of footage. So, we are doing another car test.
We'll provide basic
with the audio levels set at low, which I think is going to give the camera its best chance at decent audio. And then also, I just genuinely want to hear what it sounds like and looks like on the second go around. You know, sometimes not always the best to go with the first results that you get. But looking to see if this would be a valuable option for a lot of people to use as like maybe even almost like a car cam or a dash cam. Alright, so let's give this guy a little bit of a test. So the OnReal does have this nifty little clip that is used through magnets. So, what I thought is that we would go ahead and mount this somewhere outside. As you guys can see up here on this metal little door. And so that you guys can see, boom, put it back up there. And then if we need to change the angle, we can just move it like this, which is kind of nice. So that's kind of our angle that we have on the camera currently. Probably going to need to adjust a little bit. Alright, so we're going to come in here, we're going to go to time-lapse mode. There we are, come up to our settings. Going to make sure time-lapse is set to 5 seconds, which it is. Mic level low, resolution. Okay. Advanced settings, if we want to just go through those. Got wide angle on, timestamp HDR. Alright, so time-lapse 5 seconds, and then we'll also come out and experiment with the 10-second later, and we're on. So to give you guys an honest feedback in regards to this piece of technology, which was sent to me by the guys over at OnReal, I want to go through some of the pros and cons of this particular $70 hidden spy cam. Now that being said, the pros: lightweight, super tiny, also can kind of just be put in just about any situation, and I think is one of those items that if you did own it, you would probably take it everywhere you go because it's so small. Also, some of the other pros is that it's going to come with 4 different clips or kind of like attachments that you can take the camera and put it in. We have a suction cup, we have a magnet which is gonna come in handy. I actually found that I was able to pretty much mount it on a lot of kind of unusual things. Refrigerator, you can put it on a car, you can mount it to a Yeti mug if you want. You just have to have a flat surface, and what I found is this thing works pretty solid. There you go, stuck. And that would give you a unique angle. Now, another clip that it comes with also is going to be just a traditional clip that you would put on a backpack, which I found came in handy when I was doing some walk and talk stuff. And then last but not least, you're going to have a double-sided. So if you had a place where you knew you were going to use this more frequently, you would probably want to use this to mount. Now, that being said, other pros of the OnReal are going to be, it is definitely nice that it has an application to run the camera through. And I found that to be pretty useful for framing up shots, or at least understanding that you had the camera turned the right way, or that you knew you were recording, or how long you were recording for. I did not really experiment with photography, as I would never really use this camera for that. And then we also did some ride-arounds, which seemed to come in handy in regards to kind of giving an understanding of what this would serve as far as a dash cam. And that would be probably the biggest pro that I want to kind of hone in on for a second. If I were actually going to buy this camera, I would probably use it more so as like a dash cam, especially being that the file sizes are pretty small. That meaning you could have this camera run for quite a while, and I was able to have it run for about 50 minutes while recording before it actually died. And with it having the USB input, you could also then just run permanent power to it and use it as a dash cam. Now, some of the cons that I ran into, and these are kind of typical with your cheaper cameras, the audio was not that great. I found to get even usable audio, you need to go within the app and turn on the low mic setting. If you do that, you will have the chance of getting what I would consider usable audio. Another con that I ran into would be you're kind of locked in to 1080p at 30 frames and 720 at 30 frames. And while I'm mentioning that this is a con, it's just something that I think comes along with a lot of these cheaper action cameras, kind of that are filling a void for people that are wanting to goof around and have some fun, rather than probably buying this to make money off of it. Functionality of the app was pretty user-friendly. Once I got it up and rock and rolling, it was pretty simple, very similar like a GoPro. I'm not gonna say it's on that level, but it does allow you a lot of functionality for $70. So overall, this is a pretty nifty little item. I think that you guys should at least take a look at, see if it'd fit your needs. And hey guys, as always, it's Trey Lowell with Lowell Productions. And if you like this content, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like the content I keep putting out on this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next review or vlog video. Time to go edit.